Well, it's a beautiful April 21st right now. It's probably like, what, 56 out?
Not
The
yet.
sun.
It's supposed to be a high of 56 today, but
Well,
it's
hey,
low 50s right now.
in Minnesota, that's swimming weather, you know?
Well, you can't see it right now, but I'm only wearing my boxers right now.
No, not even that. So it's a beautiful day, but the not beautiful thing is the condition of my truck. The problem is that something has failed. We have been breaking a couple of rocker arms since we've had the cam installed, and we finally figured out why.
We showed you just a moment ago the little PSA, I guess you could call it, that comes with the dual springs that we ordered to replace the broken ones that we found inside the head. And it explicitly states to not use the stock hats, the valve guide seals that come with this engine. And Ray from Super Street Performance clearly neglected to replace these, correct?
Yep. And the thing is that I went into this project not knowing jack shit about cams or any kind of specs of that stuff. So what does a person do in my situation? I go to a professional.
We use the term exceedingly loosely with this guy because he clearly did not know what he was doing. I'm just going to go through this timeline that we put together. The first thing was we set up a meeting on March 24th to discuss your options.
Yep, and I told him I wanted a good streetable cam that would fit my needs, you know. Still get the toy hauler, but you get a hot rod out of it at the same time.
And we did let him know that we wanted it set up so if in the future you wanted a supercharger on there, it would be capable of handling that.
That is correct. He said it would be just a couple days and we'd be good to go. Between the time that we dropped off the engine, which was
The next day,
finally got the engine back on April 11th. We were able to install it, but as we were trying to do so, the torque converter that he ordered for us was for the 4L60, not the 6L80 like I have. He just assumed I have the shit transmission.
yeah, so he neglected to even do his research on the project he was working on.
But I'll give him credit because he did take it back and give us a full refund, even though we put fluid in it. But still, I had to order another torque converter, which was around $750.
Which was the first time that your price on this build started to climb up beyond what it was supposed to be. $2,757.93 you paid this guy for a professional build. It should have been $60 more. And we probably would have been set. Maybe not completely happy.
They come in a kit though. So I don't know how you would neglect to put them in unless you forget or something, but still. We ended up getting the engine installed. We had the truck towed over there because I still thought he was a competent dude and he'd be able to do the reflash on the computer for the 6.2.
That was May 12th that you brought it back for the reflash.
Right, and then hell ensued and it seemed like he had no idea what the fuck he was doing.
The truck basically sat for 2 months there. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get around to it, and he'd make excuses like...
Yeah, but then he made this claim that there was a burnt valve and it was causing a misfire in one of the cylinders. So he took a borescope, poked it in there, and he was telling us what he thought he saw, which was a hot spot or something. So we were like, okay. And we took the head off in his parking lot, which took like 3 days driving back and forth, which is an hour each way from where we live. Brought it to the machine shop. There was absolutely nothing wrong with the head. So we came back, installed it again. I had to buy the head bolts, head gasket, coolant, oil, all that stuff. So it wasn't exactly cheap. And plus we had to do it in a dusty ass parking lot. Got it reassembled. It sat and sat. Then one day he tried to work on it, but the transmission cooler line disconnected and spilled all over the place, which made a mess, and he had to clean that up and refill it and stuff, and he was mad about that. I'm like, well, fix it. What am I paying you for? Then he said that he couldn't do it because there was too big of an exhaust leak.
It was March 24th through June 27th that the truck was getting fixed or waiting to be repaired or flashed or whatever his excuse was that he couldn't do it.
I just said fuck it at that point. And we brought it to a place down the street, which is a whole nother story, a whole nother nightmare that I got completely raped in.
We'll name and shame this other place later.
Yeah, that's next. Dude was an asshole. After we brought it to the other place, that guy kept it for a month just to tune it and charged me an outrageous price for that. So then we finally got to drive it home. Massive exhaust leak, even though I paid them to fix it. And the guy that fixed it, I told him in the parking lot, I'm like, I still hear it plain as day. And he's like, I don't hear it. So then we brought it back here, took off the header. There's a fucking massive crack on the back of it.
That he completely missed.
Yeah. And they still charged me like $200 to fix the leak that they did not fix. Then after all that, we got the entire exhaust system redone and we brought it back, it retuned again because it was running terribly. We first went there to get it retuned because he thought it was a tune issue, and it was not. They just disabled a bunch of sensors so that it would not throw off the check engine light and stuff. So we drove it around like this for a good 1,200 miles almost. Then it was smoking as we were sitting at idle. I'm like, what the hell is this now? So I brought it back again, and it took him a month and around, I think it was $987 to diagnose that it was a broken rocker arm. So he replaced this rocker arm and the retainer without noticing the incorrect valve guide seals. So this is the third person that missed it. Ray missed it, the machine shop missed it when we brought it in for the supposed burnt valve, and then this other guy missed it and still charged me an arm and a leg for it. Finally get it back again, it's running good. Then it starts making a noise again. Turns out to be another broken rocker arm.
And this is the point that you and Jack took over responsibility of maintaining, diagnosing, and correcting all the mistakes that were made.
That is correct. Why pay someone thousands of dollars if they're not going to do it right? Do it your fucking self. Like I said in a forum, if you do it yourself, the only thing you have to do is find the closest mirror to find the person to scream at about what you did wrong. We fixed that rocker arm. It's good to go. Starts making this horrible squeaking noise like 500 miles later. We're like, what the hell is that now? So we brought it back. We had it towed here, and then I bought $800 worth of parts. We thought it was a push rod that was rubbing against the guide for it, but it ended up being a spring. But we did not know that. We just found a fragment of one, and we're like, we don't know where the hell this came from. These are brand new springs. They're supposed to be able to handle this lift. It could be from another project, because we've had plenty of cylinder heads on that workbench before. After that, it was running great. 500 miles later, it made the worst noise yet. And that is where we are today. We have it torn down. We thought that it was originally a lifter that turned sideways or something, but that wasn't the case. Instead, every single push rod is bent. A couple valve springs were busted, all because of them binding from Ray not installing the correct valve guide seals. So a $60 part caused all this issue.
It's literally thousands of dollars of extra money you've had to throw at it to try and resolve the issues as they came up, only to find out that we were chasing after the wrong area until we finally discovered the valve guide seals. There's no way that we could have known this was even an issue because we didn't do the work ourselves, and Ray didn't even provide us an itemized list of parts he purchased.
The guy that was tuning the truck after Ray was asking if the lifters got replaced with the non-AFM ones, which I did not know because we did not have itemized receipt. I tried getting a hold of Ray, and I found out he went out of business.
Yeah, this was months ago that you found that out.
Yeah, He went out of business like in either August or September. Now we got the hardened push rod. Got another set of LS7 lifters, bigger cam. So I guess that's the silver lining, sort of, is that we get to upgrade the truck at the same time that we're fixing it. But it still should not have happened like that.
It's going to be completely overbuilt when you're done with it. So the hope here is that we're going to have zero issues going forward, because everything that's in there, at least, you know, from the cam all the way to the valves, is upgraded.
Right.
So we'll go thrash on it, and we'll give you updates along the way.
Yeah, Beard Boy's gonna be sitting there, so I'll be doing more work than him, and I can't even move my fucking arms.
Hey, I can't tell you how much effort it is to get my thumb up my own ass so I can sit on it.
You can't get your head up your own ass.
Well, that's only because I haven't tried yet.